They say everybody's got a price. Mine was 50 grand and a bottle of bad bourbon, and I was dumb enough to take both. The envelope was thick, fat with bills and thicker with trouble. It sat on the corner of my cracked desk like it belonged there, like it knew this dump had seen better days, just like me. The guy who dropped it off wore a navy suit too sharp for his smile, and his handshake left the kind of slime that doesn't wash off. "Mr. Nash," he said, voice smooth as a campaign jingle. "You're being offered a second chance." "The man I work for believes in redemption. Redemption doesn't usually come in cash," I said, thumbing the envelope. He smiled wider. "Then let's call it a collaboration. You ghostwrite Senator Harlan's memoir. Clean copy, compelling, presidential. We'll feed you what you need. And in return," I asked, already knowing, "you keep your mouth shut about what's not in the book." That should have been the end of it, but 50 grand speaks louder than conscience when the rent is 2 months late and your liquor store tab is older than your suit. Senator Clay Harlan was all teeth and patriotism, gravel voice, perfect hair, handshake that could charm a corpse. His campaign headquarters squatted on Fifth like a glass coffin, all sleek lines and secrets. I got a corner office with a view of a dumpster and a PA named Lacey who wore ambition like cheap perfume. She smiled too much and blinked too little. "You'll get dictated notes, transcripts, a timeline," she chirped. "Stay on script, Mr. Nash. This campaign doesn't tolerate improvisation." I nodded. "But journalists are like dogs, you can dress them up, but they still sniff out rot." It started with the name Marla Drenner, scribbled in the margin of a decade-old campaign speech draft. I found it while digging through the approved archive, tucked under a rewrite in Vietnam anecdote Harlan supposedly lived through, except the guy never served. A call to my friend at the coroner's office got me one fact. Marla went missing in 2006. Last seen at Harlan's fundraiser in a brownstone that got bulldozed a month later. Guess what's standing there now? That's right, campaign HQ. I confronted Lacey late one night, when the building was quiet and full of ghosts. "You know about her," I said. She looked at me for a long beat, then she laughed. "I figured you'd trip over it eventually. You buried it," I said. "Literally, not me." She leaned in, whispering like she was telling me how I was going to die. "But if I were you, I'd stop digging. The last guy who did had a heart attack in his car. Gas pedal jammed straight into a retaining wall. I don't scare easy." "You should. You're not here to write the truth, Nash. You're here to bury it." The next morning, the fat envelope was gone. So was Lacey, in her place. A new assistant, who didn't know my name, and a revised manuscript that erased every trace of Marla Drenner. And the kicker, my byline was already printed on the press release, set to drop in 2 days. I walked into Harlan's office, ready to throw the whole damn mess in his smug face. But he wasn't there, just his wife, holding a pistol, and smiling like she'd won something. Turns out, Harlan never wrote a word. And I wasn't the ghostwriter, I was the alibi.